Hello, fourth grade. Today we're going to be doing division lesson 4. And our essential question of the day is how can you divide 4-digit dividends and check your answers? So our previous lessons we learned about regrouping and partial quotients and disco division, which we shows goes with the regrouping method. And today we're going to do a little both, but we are going to make it a little more challenging. That means we're going to be doing 4-digit dividends. And it really is the same step. So it is no different from what you've been doing with 2 and 3-digit dividends. You just have a couple extra steps. So let's get started. Remember, we started with our greatest place value, which is in our thousands. So the thousands place. So 3 divided by 4, we know we can't divide 3 candy bars among 4 people. That's going to be 0. Then you multiply. 0 times 4 is 0. Subtract. Okay. And then bring down. And we're going to bring down the 4. So then once you bring down, remember, we repeat the whole cycle over. So then we just go back. 34 divided by 4 is about 8. Now remember, it's not always going to be perfect, but you want to be at the number or you want to be just a little bit under your number here at the bottom. So that's going to be 8. And then you do 8 times 4 is 32. Subtract 2. Then bring down the 4. And then we just repeat. 24 divided by 4 is 6. And we know 6, that will fit nicely with no remainder. Then we do 6 times 4 is 24. And then subtract. And we do still have another digit. Then we just bring down over here. And we bring down the 8. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. Then you do 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract remainder of 0. And again, it's asking us to check your answers. So remember, you're going to multiply your quotient times your divisor. And it should equal your dividend. So let's see if it is. I'll do a different color for our check. So we have 862 as our quotient. Multiply that times our divisor. So 8 times 4 is 32 plus the 2 is 34. So 3,448 does equal our dividend. So those two match. Your problem is correct. Let's go ahead and pause the video. If you want to review the steps in the regrouping method, do it now. I'll see you on example 2. Welcome back, fourth grade. We're going to go ahead and get started with example 2. We will use the partial quotient strategy for this. It does look different. And again, it's your choice which method you decide to use. And I just wanted to make sure I was able to do another example before we do our common assessment this Thursday. So this is going to be partial quotient. So I have a dividend of 2,545 and my divisor being divided by 4. So again, partial quotients, remember, we're always going to multiply our partial quotient by our divisor. So I'm going to go to the right of the problem. I'm going to use some space out to the side. And I'm going to think, what times 4 can I get close to 2,500 or even 2,000? So I recommend when you guys do partial quotients using friendly numbers like 500, 100, 25, 10s, 11s, just friendly numbers. And remember, you don't have to get exactly right the first time. You don't have to go for the whole amount. You're going to work your way down. So again, we're going to multiply 4 times, and that 4 comes from our divisor. So keep that in mind as we do our partial quotients. We will be multiplying those partial quotients by our divisor. And I'm just going to go ahead and start with 500. So I know 4 times 500, and remember, this number on the right will be your partial quotient. Partial means it's part of the actual answer to the division problem. So 4 times 5, we know is 20. And that's your basic fact there. 4 times 5 is 20. Then add your 2 zeros, 2,000. And then we're going to subtract. And we know 2 minus 2 is 0. I'll just leave it at 545. And then I'm going to go ahead and write my divisor here. I got to multiply 4 times something to get close to 545. And I'm just going to do 100. I'm just going to use this friendly number. I'm going to use 100. Keep it simple. So then we know 4 times 100 equals, and I'm going to lower this number. I'll put it down here just a little so it kind of lines up to what we're doing. 4 times 100 equals 400. And you subtract. So you got 145. So think, how can I get close to 145 by multiplying by 4? So let's do 4 times 25. We know 4 times 25 is 100. Subtract. We have a remainder of 45. We're still going because when your remainder is larger than your divisor, in this case 45 is larger than 4, we're going to keep on going. So I'm going to do 4 times something. My initial thought was I could do 4 times 10 is 40, but I also know 4 times 11 is 44. So I'm just going to go ahead and do 4 times 11, 44, subtract remainder 1. Now, we still aren't finished. So the different thing about partial quotient is you still have to add your partial quotients. I'll use a different color. I got to add the 500, the 100, 25, and the 11. So I'm going to put that up here. I got 500 plus 100 plus 25 plus 11. Add those up. I get a 6, 3. So I have 636. I'm going to write that up here as my quotient, 636. Okay. So we still need to check our work. So I'm going to multiply 636 times 4. We know 6 times 4 is 24. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2, 14. Carry the 1. 6 times 4 is 24, plus the 1 is 25. So we have 2,544. And remember, we still have to add our remainder down here. So that makes it a 5. 4, bring down the 5, and the 2. 2,545 is our dividend. It does match, so this is correct. So guys, go ahead and pause the video if you want to review the partial quotient version. Now's the time. I will see you for problem number 1. And good to see you, 4th grade. We're going to go and get started. You're going to do your independent problem. And this is problem number 1. Find the quotient. Use any method you wish. Check your work. So for this one, again, use any method you wish. I would say the only method you can't use is the calculator method. But you can do regrouping, do the partial quotient, whatever you need, whatever is comfortable for you, whatever is working out for you, that's your method. And don't forget to check your work. Multiply your quotient by your divisor. Pause the video. Answer now on its learning. And I will see you guys for problem number 2. And welcome back, 4th grade. You're going to go ahead. Problem number 2 is just like problem number 1, just a little bit larger numbers. Find the quotient. Use any method you wish. Check your work. Again, regrouping. You could use the partial quotient method. Go ahead and right now, go ahead and pause the video and we will see you guys for problem 3. Get my pen to work. Here we go. All right. Sometimes my pen has a mind of its own. There we go. Okay. And I will see you guys for problem number 3. And last problem of today for lesson 4, problem 3. Answer the riddle. So I'm going to go ahead and read it to you, see what we're doing. Find the leftover in each situation. So that's going to be the remainder for problems 1 through 5. So when it says find the leftover, we're going to be using the remainder. Then use the code key to see which letters match each of your answers. Write the letters in order of the exercises to find the answer to the riddle. So again, you're going to be answering down here at the bottom, what flies around but never goes anywhere. Okay, so if you're, again, for problem 1, let's just say if you have a remainder of 8, you guessed it, you're going to put a T there first. And let's just say for problem 2, your answer is 7. You're going to put an S there. And let's say your remainder for 3 is a 6. The letter N goes there, for example. So that's kind of how you use the decoder down here. All right. So I will have a place on It's Learning for you to answer your riddle. Again, the riddle is what flies around all day but never goes anywhere. Good luck. This is our last problem of the day. And I hope this has helped you guys. I will see you tomorrow for lesson 5.